Hey guys, this is Paul from Nihilo Concepts in Stewart, Florida. Today I want to talk about our brand new product, the Nihilo Concepts Fuel Transfer Pump. Nihilo Concepts has always been about innovation and making things better. We've noticed that in some cases, depending on your riding style, some of the Enduro models with the big tanks have difficulty bringing fuel from this lower part of the tank up to the fuel pump. Typically, the fuel is transferred to the fuel pump area by splash. So when you're going left, you're going right, you're braking, you're accelerating, fuel is being transferred to the fuel pump. But on the bigger tanks that have a lower section like this, sometimes that fuel transfer is not efficient. This is especially true when you're riding on a certain terrain where you don't have too many turns to slosh the fuel around and transfer the fuel from the lowest part of the tank to the pump area. This is where the engineers at Nihilo Concepts came up with a great idea. A fuel transfer pump that acts as a secondary pump to transfer the fuel from the lowest part of the tank up to the main fuel pump, allowing the main fuel pump to never starve for fuel. The first step of the process here at Nihilo was sitting down at the drawing table. We all got together and threw ideas around. How can we make this possible? We needed something small, yet effective and durable to be able to withstand the harshest of riding and racing conditions. We looked and there were a few commercially available transfer pumps, but they're too big, too bulky. Most of them were made overseas. So we decided, you know what, we're gonna make this in-house and we're gonna make it from scratch. And this is how the American ingenuity came in play here at Nihilo Concepts. No modifications needed. You don't have to cut the tank or splice wires. The installation is super easy in less than 5 minutes. Come, I'll show you how it's done. First step of the process, take your seat off. Now it's very important, before you remove your fuel pump off the tank, you have to make sure that your fuel level is below the fuel pump. Otherwise, it'll spill. The next step is to remove your fuel tank. You probably don't have to remove it all the way off the bike, but simply disconnect the fuel pump, loosen up the bolts in the front, loosen up the bolt in the middle, and lift the tank up. After you loosen up the fuel tank from the frame, you can just let it rest on top of the bike, disconnect your connector, and be very careful with this fuel pressure line. You don't want to pull too hard or sideways on this because the spigot coming out of the fuel pump will break off. Now with a 6mm socket, you want to remove all 4 bolts holding the fuel pump to the tank. Now you want to remove the fuel pump from the tank. Now that your fuel pump's out, all you have to do is connect your Nihilo Concepts fuel transfer pump, which is going to come with 2 flat buckle plastic zip ties. The first step you want to do is disconnect the fuel pump internal connector by pulling down on the tab, squeezing the tab in, and you disconnect it. Now you want to loosen up these wires from this little plastic loop. Bring them on the outside. Next, you want to connect your Nihilo Concepts fuel transfer pump in line with the internal connector, like so. The next step is to secure the connector to the body of the fuel pump by using one of our plastic zip ties. 2 of the zip ties are included in the pack. Make sure to cut the leftover zip tie. The next step is very important. This is where we're going to locate the proper direction of the Nihilo Concepts fuel transfer pump to the main pump housing. What you want to do is you want to use your second zip tie, go through the top hole of the metal fuel outlet. You want to go over the connector through this channel right here. And this is how your assembly should look like before installing it into the fuel tank. Always make sure to keep this curvature facing forward. Now for the last part of the installation, you want to fish it through the left side of the tank. Be very gentle about it. We have a little light behind the tank so you can see it. You insert the fuel pump. And it's in. Now you can see that the fuel pump is located all the way down at the bottom left-hand corner of the fuel tank. Now that your Nihilo Concepts fuel transfer pump is installed, you have nothing to worry about. It's made of chemical-resistant hardware, fail-proof connections, heavy-duty motor housing. It only pulls 189 milliamps of power, so it will not affect your charging system or your battery. These pumps are readily available in 12 inches for all KTM, Gas, and Husqvarna XE, XCW, EXE, FE, FEW, FES, EX, and EC models, as well as 17 inches for the IMS and Acerbis long and deep fuel tanks. They're readily available at nihiloconcepts.com. Thanks for watching. You have a blessed day.